A lot of times what's going to end up happening, guys, if you don't, like I said, for whatever reason, if you don't have the ceramic blade on it, it will leave a slight line in the hair, right? Not all hair, but depending on what type of hair, I find maybe a little bit more dense hair will leave a line on that OA line. But if you have a ceramic blade, it'll just take you right out, right? I think just because it cuts cleaner and it cuts a little bit softer. That's the only one I have, a ceramic blade. Everything else is all purely straight out of the box, right? So now we go on to the one, right? So what's the one? Mr. Rob? Half, right? Perfect. And the reason I pick on Rob is because Rob is my metal guy in Van Nuys. So one is a what? A half? So the one metal guard is going to be a half. So that's like having a half clip. Yeah, like a half guard. Okay, so throw the half guard on there. No scratching. Just kidding. Alright. So we got the one on there. Turn on the machine. Close it. The one. So now we're going to go. Alright, there we go. What's next? The 1A, what is equivalent to what? A 1? Yeah, so like a 1A was going to be considered, I would say like a half guard, maybe halfway open. So let's do a half guard. How do you spell guard? G-A-R-U-D? Nope, that's wrong. Is it? G-U-A, right? Alright, yeah. Sorry. What happened? Everything, yeah, these are closed. I consider them closed. So this will be the half guard, halfway open. Right? So that's the 1A. So the 1A, pop the sucker on here, and then we continue on with the fade.
You're not really flicking out, are you?
Nope, just going straight into the hair. Just straight into the hair. No flicking out needed. Nothing like that. Just straight into the hair. So that was a good question. I'll come back to it right now. So the question was, am I flicking out or am I going straight into the hair? The answer is, I'm just going straight into the hair. So instead of doing this, remember like I told you guys yesterday, these are very, very sharp. You're going to stab somebody if you do it like this. So we're just going straight into the hair like this. Literally just matching into each other, right? You're just kind of blending as you go. Instead of doing this and flicking out, I'm just going straight into it. All right? So that was the 1A. What's next? Anybody? 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 Next is the what? The 1.5. Which is equivalent to what, Mr. Rob? It's like a 1. Yeah, like a 1. 1 closed. Something similar to that. Right? So the 1.5. At this point, I can start fading in a little bit more. I can just kind of go more bigger sections, and that way that the fade will start coming out a little bit nicer. So I see a little bit of a line here, so I'll go back to the 1A and just get rid of the touch-up right here. There we go. Okay. And then what's next? Anybody? Bueller? 2, right? What is considered to what? So like a 1.5, right? So like it'd be like a 2 would be like a 1.5 guard. Plastic. Like your actual white guard would be a 2. Continue on. Then what?
3.5.
Then you have it 3.5, right? Which is pretty much where I'll stop. I'd probably stop after 2, but it's okay. We'll continue on.
Do you really use a 3.5?
If I would need to take down the bulk, yeah. Like a lot of people like will want a 3. I'll do the 3 3/4 or 3.5. So this will be a 3.5, which is what in plastic, a 2. But this is just really just overkill at this point. All right. So 3.5. Not necessarily. I'll just keep going into the hair. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the line right here. Yeah, we'll get it back to it right now. But again, this is just a rough draft. Again, it's different when I try to cut for you guys as a demo like this. But just an overall view. There's a little bit of touch-up spots I need to hit, which I get. But overall, what do you guys think?
Looks good.
Beautiful.
I like it.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
There's a line. You'll see the line on this side. Don't stress that out. It's, like I said, it's a little different when I need to cut for you guys. And, you know, when I'm actually cutting, it's a little bit different. But this is the overall what you're looking for, right?
Do you not touch it with the blender at all?
What blender?
I mean,
The blender? I got a blender at home, bro. It's
Yeah.
making my shakes in the morning, but
No, I mean, what?
Precision tool.
There you go.
what do you mean?
For that precision tool, like a Annis Master?
No, I don't
Or a
touch it.
senior at all?
No, I don't do anything like that. Maybe to get this little line right here, but I'll probably just go back with the metals and just retouch it. Barely. But I don't go back and do any of that stuff. I mean, honestly, look, how clean is that fade?
Clean.
I mean, no hair sticking out. I don't need to go over it 5 million times. I had to go over it, what? Once. And that was it. Just one time. And it was done. Right? Questions, comments, concerns? What time is it? Still early. Yeah, so next we're gonna get into the shear work, right? So the next step is gonna be, I like cuts like his that are gonna be just, you know, clip work on top. Because number one, it's gonna be all the same length all the way around, so it doesn't really matter where you start from. So this will be a good one for you guys too, because I want you guys to get a little bit. We want to get into a little bit of the shear work. So let's wet the hair down, and I'll go back and do the touch-up work right now. But I want to get rid of this bulk on top first, and then we'll go back and do all the detail work at the very end. Right? All right. So how are we gonna do the clipper work? So here we go. So there's no, you know, starting. There's no exact starting point. So for him, because we're gonna go down to the scalp, pretty much as low as I can go with my hand and my finger. That's it. We're literally just gonna go to the base, the bottom of your, as low as your fingers can go. And we're just gonna start chopping. So what I normally do for guidelines, just so you guys know, I cut the front first, make my quote unquote guideline. Right? That'll be my guideline for the most part. And then what I do after that point is I just go front to back. Just start taking it down little by little. And that way I just go like in rows, like little corn rows. So he's got a lot of hair, and then we'll style it, we'll do all that fun stuff. But we're just taking down. So again, palming the shears as you go, comb, palm the shears, put the comb here. You don't want to be one of these guys that will part the hair, put this down somewhere, cut. Oh crap, then, you know, stuff like that. I've seen people do some crazy stuff, right? Just get used to keeping this in your hand, keeping the shears in your hand. That way this thing goes by very quickly, right? Any questions so far, guys? I mean, I could easily just taken the 5 with this, but again, I don't like to mix machines while I'm doing cuts. I'd rather just use one machine for its given purpose. If I'm gonna start with the Osters, I'm gonna start with the Osters. I'm gonna finish with the Osters. So tomorrow we'll do fast feeds. But any questions while I got you guys here? No? Nobody?
How long does that usually take you from beginning to end?
A cut like this? Like his? I mean, some of you guys didn't see me. I've knocked this cut out like in 10 minutes. With, you know, pure Osters. I mean, I can do it with anything. I can do it with Osters. I can do it with, I cut his hair with walls. I've done it with my fast feeds. I mean, I've done it with everything. It doesn't really matter.
Is this your nephew? Son?
His stepson, you can call it. Right, Alex? I don't know. Where's my girl? She's here somewhere. Yeah. So again, you're just gonna, with this kind of cut, it's super easy. I like giving you guys these kind of cuts because it's just literally all over the place. You can kind of just really practice your shear work because you can just take it at different angles. Since it's all gonna be the same length anyways, you're just gonna go and just, you know, work on your guidelines, work on making different guidelines. Now here is a problem where I think a lot of you guys have issues with, is like when you're doing a comb over, what do we do with the edge here, right? So a lot of you guys will try to do what? What's your first initial instinct as a barber? Clip over a comb, right? That's your, really, thin shears?
Yeah.
No? Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna keep an eye on you on that from now on.
Yeah.
So that's your first initial
I love
instinct.
thinning
Alright, cool. So I'll show you this side real quick, and then I'll show you guys on this side, or if you guys can see too. So when we do a comb over, so a lot of times, let's say we do the comb over, we comb it over this way, and then we have this overhang, right? Let's say you did the nice little fade, it's clean, but now what do you do with this overhang, right? What do we do with all this? So my initial instinct, which wasn't always the first thing I thought of, you got to go and do a 90 degree cut like this. So come in it, do it a 90 degree cut real quick, knock it out. Yeah, it creates a little layer. Right,